Okay, so let's discuss this lesson on prepositions. So we have already discussed 3 lessons on preposition last Friday, right? We discussed in, on, at, and then we discussed some things like, I think it was below, right? Above, in front of, what? Under, yes, which we thought it was in front of. What else? Over, yes, remember? Over, the dragon was over the, what was it? The alien, yes. And then we had, the alien was under the dragon. Huh? Yes, then you had an alien between 2 dragons, those type of things, right? Yes. Besides, right? Okay, so now this lesson addresses some prepositions of movement. The below, beside, and so on was like a position. You're in a position fixed. These are used for movement, when there is a certain movement, okay? So we use these prepositions, okay? So depending on how you move, depending on this movement, you will use a different preposition, okay? Sumana, also, this might be too easy for you. You do something if you want, okay? Yeah. Your vocabulary and some grammar. And so depending on your movement, we'll use a different preposition, okay? They usually come after the verb. For example, walk, and then the preposition. Run, come, go, drive, cycle, fly. You'll see that all of them include some movement. Okay, you're going somewhere or you're coming from somewhere. Okay? So let's see, for example, here we have several in one lesson. Okay? Several, yes. Let's save this image or copy image. Send to IIT English class. Prepositions of movement. So, make this big. So, prepositions of movement. To. To shows like where you're going, right? Shows the, what we say in Pali, the goal of motion. Like we use dutya, vibhati, right? I took them to the beach. Remember? Remember, not long ago we discussed to as showing the purpose of something. I'm studying to, for example, I'm studying English to learn Dhamma. Remember, this is another to, right? To with the infinitive, to learn. And that shows the purpose of learning English. I learn English to study Dhamma, whatever. No? Like, no. Chatutiya, I give this to him. To him. Yes, not a verb. To, and then you have the accusative. Many meanings? Many meanings, no? But the pun in Pali, what would we use instead to say the meaning? Ah, yes, tumanta. Tumanta, yes. Tumanta. To study English. So to study in Pali would be like a tumanta, no? Yes. So this to is different from that to of purpose. That to is followed by an infinitive verb. Remember, infinitive? It's not in the past, not in the future, not in the present. It's a verb that is not affected by time. So it's infinitive. Okay? This one is different, you see. I took them to the beach. So we have just a noun afterwards, the to, you see, after the to. I took them to the beach. It's not the purpose. It's not a purpose. It's just where you are going. It's the goal of motion. Okay? I took them to the beach. That's where you're going. That's where you took them, right? I'd like to go to the cinema. Cinema. Okay? It's just where you are going, okay? So here you have an arrow going somewhere, you see? You're going inside the circle over here. So you're going somewhere. So this is what to is used for. So I'm going to the Dana Sala. I'm going to Brazil, for example. Okay? So you can use it to. That's quite common, right? Easy. From. Now from, you see the arrow is coming from that area or that place out, no? So she comes from Japan. Now she comes from Japan. Usually you see comes is more often seen with from. Comes from, right? Maybe you can say sometimes goes from. You can say, for example, he goes from here to there. He goes from here to there. But normally with from, much more common is comes. Yeah, I come from Brazil, for example. Okay? Where are you coming from? I'm coming from Colombo, for example. Okay? I ran from home to the gym. You see? From home to the gym. So here both are being used. Easy, right? Also very common. Into. Okay. This one sometimes people want to put them separately. In, to. No, you smush them together. Okay? Into. This, as you see in the image, you go into a space. You see? You go as if you're going into a space. You see? You're entering a box, for example, entering a room. So I walked quickly into the room. This shows you're going inside. Okay? Into the room or get into the car. Okay? So you're going into the car. You're not going to the car, for example. Huh? I think you can go into the bus. Yeah, I think so. I think so. Remember we had some difference? Bus and car. He's in the car, but he's on the bus. Right? Yes. So this is just to show the motion, no? The motion, you know? Motion? Motion is the noun, no? For movement, also another noun, movement, motion. Okay. So you're going inside a place, you can use into. And then the opposite, out of. Out of. Okay? So you come out of this area, this place, this box, or this room, for example. I saw them get out of the taxi, out of a taxi. They got out of the car. Out of the car, they go into the car, they get out of the car. Okay? In, out, into, out of. Careful here, it's not out from. Okay, you may want to say from, you see? Out of, okay? Get out of the taxi. They ran out of the room. Out of the room. You're in a certain, within a certain space, certain area, usually enclosed area. Yes. An enclosed area, yes. Yes, you go outside that.
I think it's close to from.
Close to from, yes. You may want to use from, yes. On. Remember we used on the bus? Yes. I'm on the bus. So we used on sometimes, right? But this is a different on. It's also on a surface. We discussed this last time, right? On. So it's a bit different from on the bus. You're not on top of the bus, right? You're just in the bus, right? You're in the bus, but we say on the bus. But on is also used like this, on a surface. So on a table or on maybe the roof, usually something a bit flat. Remember? If you're If you're at the top of a mountain, we don't say on a mountain. It's more like at. At, yes. At the top of the mountain, at the peak of the mountain, at the edge of the table, or at the edge of a precipice. So this on is like on a surface. So I was late and got on the first bus. Okay, that on. I got on the first bus. Do you understand the first bus? He was late and he got on the first bus available. This means, for example, I'm late, so I go quickly to the bus station and I take the first bus going on that direction, for example. You know? If you're not in a hurry, maybe you can wait for a later bus. You understand? So I got on the first bus. This means you took it. You bought the ticket, you got inside, and you traveled on this bus. And this was the first available bus. Okay? So you got on the bus, to get on the bus. Or put the money on the table. This is the surface one. No? Surface. So either you're in the public vehicle, remember, on a bus, on a plane, or on a surface. Off. Be careful, this is off with a real F. Off. The off with one F is of, with a V sound, a bit like a V sound. Of. Okay, and your throat actually produces sound. Of. This one is like a puff of air. Off. It's just air. Okay? So off means like outside this surface. You come off it. That's the preposition you use. You see? The cat jumped off the table. This, I don't see you using this, for example, much. Okay? Off the table. Yes. If you're sitting on the table, somebody may tell you off the table. Huh? For example. Or like this, the cat jumped off the table. Okay? He fell off his bike. Also, if you're on the bike, you're on the bike. Also on. You're on the bike and you fell off the bike. Not fell out the bike. You may want to say out, for example. Fell off the bike. When you're on something, you fall off it. That's a good thing to remember. On, off. They are the ones used as kind of opposites. You see, we have them sometimes in pairs. To and from, you see. Into and out of. They are also a bit like opposites. On and off, another pair of opposites. Okay? Yeah, he fell off his bike. Okay? Let's see, up. They went up the hill. Okay. They went up the hill. Easy, right? I think this one is quite easy to use. They went up. They went up. They went up with the elevator. For example, you take an elevator, a lift, and you go up. You can also go up. Let's go up. Let's go up the mountain. Let's go up the stairs. Let's go up the water tower. Yeah. So they all went up the hill, or he ran up the stairs. And then the opposite, down. I rode my bike down. Wait, I don't want to study for YALTS. Okay, down you can also use for the bike. I rode is the past of ride. It's an irregular verb, right? I rode my bike down the mountain. I rode down. Yeah, it doesn't mean you're coming off the bike. You're not getting off the bike. You're riding down the mountain. It shows the movement, the direction of your movement, you see? This preposition shows the direction of your movement. I rode my bike down the mountain, yes. If you don't use the bike, you would say to ride down the mountain, and then you put the bike in between, you see? To ride my bike down the mountain. Not to ride down my bike the mountain. Okay? So here you have to separate these two words, you see? To ride down. Yes, ride down. Write down the answers. That's another one. Write it down. Write it down. You see, you put the object in between. To write down, to write it down. Not write down it. Some phrasal verbs are verbs with a preposition. Okay? And then some phrasal verbs, they are a bit more advanced, phrasal verbs in general. But in English, some phrasal verbs must always be together with their preposition, and some are separated in the sentence. Later we have to take a look at this, okay? And then these prepositions, they help form those phrasal verbs. To go up, get down, put on. You see, they're all prepositions, okay? So pay attention to whether they are separated or together. The preposition with the verb, okay? So here they are separated. To ride my bike down. We went down the stairs. This is not to go down. He went down. Yeah, I'm not sure. Sometimes it's a phrasal verb. I'm not sure it's always a phrasal verb. So he went down the stairs. Shows the movement. He went down the stairs. Okay. Along. Along. Along sometimes means together, right? Yeah. So I'm going somewhere, and then Santavacho comes along. Means he comes together with me, for example. Okay? But along here shows on this path, on this way. You see? We walked quietly along the beach. Along the beach. You're walking on the beach. Along the beach means following this line, you see? This is the beach, for example, and you're following this line. You see, you're following the beach. You're walking on the beach. You could say walking on the beach, or you're walking along the beach. Along the beach.
Can be used a lot.
Like this?
Yeah.
Drunk? Maybe you are walking in and out of the bridge, of the beach. In and out. Yeah, you're kind of walking along. Yeah. I ran along a narrow path. I ran along a narrow path. This doesn't mean outside the path or anything like that. You're walking on that path, okay? Along this path. This means you're following the path. That's what this preposition is showing. Along that path. Okay? Through. Through, you go like inside something and out, Through. Yes. Through. So they drove through the tunnel. Yes, a tunnel is a perfect example, right? You go inside and you come out the other side. So you go through. Light goes through the glass, for example, the glass window. Through. I ran through the trees. Not necessarily an enclosed place, but through. Think of the trees as a place you go through, you see? Okay? Come through. Yes, he came through the tunnel. He came through the tunnel. Yes, through. Across. Okay, across you have this area and you go from one end to the next, you see? You have this area, for example, here with the square, and you go from one end to the other. So you go across. So for example, a river, imagine this is a river, and you swim across the river. Yes. You can swim along the river, following the river, for example, or you swim across the river. Then it's like this. Yeah. You can swim through the river. Sounds a bit strange. Through the water. Yeah, but not through the river. Sounds a bit strange. Through, maybe it's okay. Maybe it's okay. Maybe it's okay. Across the river, okay? So for example, I ran across the street. That's another way. Yes, across the street. Here, please be careful. Heads up. Don't mix it with cross. The verb to cross. To cross the street is different from across the street. Yeah, if you want to say you went from one walkway to the other walkway, you crossed the street. Okay, that's the verb. I crossed the street quickly. Okay? But if you want to use another verb, I ran, I went, I flew, I swam, then you will use this preposition, across. I swam across the street. Okay? Swam across the street. Don't mix it with the verb. Don't say to across, for example. Okay? So across has an A over here, see? An A. Across. It's a preposition, and to cross is a verb. So try to differentiate them. Towards. Okay, towards. Sometimes you will see towards without the S. It's also correct. So toward or towards. Both are okay. Towards show the direction where you're going. Okay? It doesn't actually mean you have to go to that place. For example, if I tell you to go to, okay, for example, to go to Magavihari Bante Skuti. Let's say you don't know where Magavihari Bante lives, okay? But you know where the Dhanasala is. And then I tell you, just walk towards the Dhanasala. Towards the Dhanasala. And then you stop before the Gilampasa Hall, for example, or something like that. No? Yeah, it shows the direction. It doesn't mean you have to go to the Dhanasala. It's just the direction. Yeah, walk to the Dhanasala, it looks like you have to go to the Dhanasala itself. Understand? If you just goes on that direction, then you can use towards. Okay?
Towards the mountain.
Yes, you go towards that mountain, but you stop after 5 kilometers, for example. You don't need to reach the mountain, but you go towards the mountain. Or for example, if you're at sea, for example, you have to go towards the sun, for example. If you want to go east, you see the rising sun. We have to go towards the sun. We don't have to go to the sun. You have to go towards the sun, okay? So towards. Here, he got up and walked towards me. You see? He came on my direction. He walked towards me. Okay? He ran towards the sea also. He ran towards the sea. Yes. Okay. Over. Over shows like you're going like this. You see, it's a movement kind of above something. Not being above. Above is like static. Above. But this movement is over something. Remember we discussed get over it. Huh? Get over something. To get over something is to overcome. It's a verb, again, made with over, you see? Overcome. Yeah, they make a verb out of these words, no? So, he jumped over the fence. So, the fence, for example, let's say we build a fence, and then the elephant can walk right over it. For example, the elephant can walk over it. If it's a short fence, yeah. Or the cat Cat is very agile, very fast. He can jump over the fence. He flew over the mountains. Huh? An aircraft, yes. Or what my dad flies is forgot the name. Planador in my language. Sorry? Up? He flew up? You jump up is like this, up. No, it doesn't show the same movement. If you jump up, yeah. Yeah, like, but if you're going over something, then it's like over, you see? Over. Okay, my hand is going over. But up is just like this. Okay? So over. For example, he jumped up the fence. No, it doesn't give the same meaning. No? Jumped up the fence. Maybe if he wants to stay on top of the fence, maybe he can jump up, I think. But over is more like that, okay? Under is kind of the opposite of over, you see? Under. It's bad luck to walk under a ladder. This is a type of mangala, you know, those mangala things. I mentioned this to you already when at some point we were discussing about mangala. You know, how we call these? Sumana was talking about that in Dittamangala, Suttamangala, and it's what is the word? When people believe in superstition. Superstition, you know this word? So superstitions are these types of beliefs that we in Dhamma call like Mangala, like Ditta Mangala. Yes. For example, you should not walk under a ladder. If there is a ladder, some people, superstitious people, don't walk under a ladder. They think it's bad luck. Okay, this is a superstition. Okay? So superstition is a noun, superstitious is the adjective. Okay? So normally, for example, Aryas, they believe in Kamma Vipaka, they are not superstitious people. Aryas. Noble people. Arya. Okay? So you see, this for example is here. It's bad luck to walk under a ladder. So under, you see? If you're under a ladder, you just say under. And if you're walking under it, it's also under. You see? Through the ladder is more like, I don't know, you're kind of like go inside. You can walk through it. Maybe it's okay. If you think of it as something you kind of go inside. Maybe a ladder like this, those A-shaped, V-shaped ladders, you can go through it, maybe. Yeah? Depends on your perception. Around. For example, Devas, when they visit the Buddha, they circumambulate him. Circumambulate. This is a verb, very uncommon verb. Only in Dhamma we see this. Circumambulate is to go like this, paying respect. To walking around, to walk around the Chaitya. You walk around the Chaitya, not on or at or in or through or none of that, right? You walk around it. Yeah, so these prepositions really help to show what you want to say, you see? Yeah. Walking in circles. Around is usually around something. Yes. Usually around something. Sometimes you may say, for example, if you are walking, you go visit a village, a new village, a new place, and you walk around. Walk around here just means going here and there, you know, like just sightseeing and visiting, just walking around. Investigate? Kind of investigate, yes. Getting to know, or yes. So you could say to walk around. Let's just walk around this area, for example. Not necessarily like that. Okay? But if you're walking like this, you're walking around the Chetia, for example. Okay? I went around the corner. You see? Not necessarily a circle, but around a corner. Yeah. So you can, for example, get out of the room, and then you can turn around the corner, and then you will see, I don't know, the road. Okay? Okay, past. This is not future, present, past, okay? Not that past. It's to walk past something. You see, it's also a preposition. Walk past something. Pass. To pass. Yes, for example, pass. Yeah, these are actually words that are easily confused, right? Let's see. Let's try to make something over here. For example, we have past, as Bante said. We have past related to time. We have past as a preposition. For example, to walk past something. Right? Hey. And then there is also past. Past. You see, it's pronounced in the same way. Past. So this is the verb, to pass the exam. For example, to pass. To pass the exam. Yeah. Or to pass by the shop. To pass by the shop. For example, if you're traveling on a car and you pass by the shop, this means your car will go right by the shop, close to the shop. Pass by. Yes. To pass. Pass is usually like a verb going from one place to another. Pass. So you pass the test is also, imagine the test is like a boundary and you pass the test. Go beyond. To pass the test. Past as a time, then like future, present, past, right? The period of time. Don't mix it with the verb. For example, in the past, I studied English under several teachers. Okay? In the past, I studied English under several teachers. Okay? In the past. Not in the past with SS. Okay? Here, as a preposition, to walk past something. You see here, I'm using it as a verb, to pass by the shop. It's a verb, you see? Here the verb is to walk, and then to walk past. This also is like this. You see? But past here is not the verb, it's the preposition. To walk is the verb, to walk past something. To walk past something, you're walking, and you pass by it. See, now I'm using it as a verb. You pass by that thing, so you walk past. For example, let's say I'm calling Sudumali. Sudumali comes. Come. I have some food for Sudumali. Okay? And then Sudumali, he runs towards me. He runs towards me, but then he runs past me. You understand? He doesn't stop. He just runs past me. Yeah. He runs past me. You see, he walked past us without seeing us. There is a mistake here. Without seeing us. Without seeing us. Let me take a picture. I show them the mistake and they fix it. Okay, so the police drove past our building, you see? Drove past our building. So the building is here. They drove past the building. Okay? Not towards the building, not around the building, it's just past the building. Okay? So these are these very useful prepositions related to movement, you see? There are several of them, but I think they're not very difficult. Maybe I think the most difficult ones, I would say a little less common, are maybe off, maybe along, maybe across, past, maybe a little more difficult. Yeah. And then that's it. Let's see if there is anything else here. To get on or off the bus, get in or out of the car. Yes, remember car, we say in the car, right? So you get into the car, but you get on the bus, you see? So the preposition changes for these types of vehicles. To go to work by car means to drive to work. Drive to work, you see? To. This is our preposition, yes. Be careful here. To work can also be a verb, right? Infinitive verb. For example, the best thing to do is to work. For example, the best thing to do is to work hard. Then it's a verb, right? To work, infinitive, okay? But to drive to work, work here is a noun. Work means your job. To work, okay? So it's not showing the purpose of driving, but it's showing where you are going. Yeah, and these same words could mean the purpose of, could mean two things. Here, this is a little tricky, okay? Look at this, for example, to work, okay? As an infinitive verb, we can use it, for example, cannot say I like working, not I like to work, right? Remember this? Liking and disliking verbs, we use ing, no? So another verb, for example, to work. We are here to work hard. Okay? To work here is the verb, right? Okay, our main verb over here is are, right? We are here. And then here we use the preposition and this infinitive to show the purpose. Why are we here? To work hard, right? To work hard. So this is an infinitive. This is a verb, okay? But, for example, as preposition, so this is preposition, preposition plus infinitive, preposition plus a noun. So to work, I'm driving to work. I'm driving to work. This shows the place. For example, it's the same as I'm driving to the cinema. Okay? The only thing is that work, we don't use an article for work, even though it's a noun. Okay? It's like home. For example, I'm going home. Not I'm going to home or I'm going to the home or nothing of that. I'm going home, for example. Some special words, right? Articles. But here it's to the cinema, you see? To and a noun phrase, right? Here, to work. This work over here is not the verb. It's also a noun. Okay? Yeah. But you could also use it as a verb. For example, I'm willing You know willing? I'm willing to work for free. Now it's a verb. I'm willing to work for free. Yeah. Or you could even say I'm driving to work on a new project. Now it's a verb, you see? I'm driving to work on a new project. This is the purpose of driving, not where I'm going. Can you feel the difference? Between these two sentences, can you see the difference? To work. I'm driving to work. Stop. I'm driving to work. I'm driving to work shows the place you're going, okay? To work. So this is a noun. I'm driving to work on a new project. Wait. This is a verb over here, okay? Yeah. Okay. So, what else? To go to work by car. Okay, this is extra information. It's not here in this table. By, you see? I go to school on foot. On foot. We use on as a preposition. When you're walking somewhere, you can say on foot. And you use the singular, foot, not feet. Remember, this is an irregular plural, right? Foot and feet, not by feet. No, on foot. Yes. I go to the Dhanasala on foot. Most bhikkhus traveled on foot in the past. On foot. Huh? Not with foot, no. Yeah, here it comes. You see, by car. Then this sounds like Tatiya Vibhati, you see. On foot almost is like satami, right? A little like satami, right? On something. Sounds like satami in Pali, like a location. To go to school on foot. But here it does sound like Tatiya. I go to work by car. Okay? By something. By means of something, right? I went to Zurich by plane. I went to the airport by taxi. So you have on foot, okay? By is more common, but not by foot, it's on foot, okay? So this is by and a mean of transportation, you see? By bike, by plane, by taxi. How did you come here? By taxi. Yeah. How did you go to Spain? By plane. Yeah. Okay? How do you go to Colombo? On foot. Okay? By the car? Yes, if it's a specific car. We went to Colombo by... No, wait. That sounds strange. By car. By the car. Huh? By the car we saw yesterday, a specific car, right? We went by the car. Maybe it's okay. Maybe a specific car. We went by this or that car. We went by the new car. We went by the new car. It does sound a little strange. I'm not so sure. Let me ask Monica. Right? My assistant. Assistant. Monica, is it grammatical to say by the car? No, by the car she'll understand something else. Because, for example, I'm standing by the car. You understand? That's something else. I'm standing by the car. Yeah. So, by Is it grammatical to say by car? By car, but with the, as in a specific car. We went by the car, or by the blue car. It sounds quite strange. Let's see. Yes, it is grammatical if you're referring to a specific car. Monica thinks it's okay. We went by the blue car. Yeah. I think it's okay, Sankicha. Monica agrees. Huh?
You cannot say by a blue car.
By the blue car. By the blue car, for example. You think it's not okay?
You cannot use by
By a. We went by a blue car. Is the indeterminate? No. What is it called? Article in, like non-specific, right? With a. For example, we went by a blue car. We went by a blue car. Also grammatical. Yeah, any blue car, not a specific one. Sounds okay. At least Monica thinks like that. We went by a blue car. Yeah, now it sounds okay. Like Monica gave me confidence. Huh? By car. In general, yes. By car, yes. Yeah, that's a good point. We went by car. It just means you use the car. It's not talking about any specific car, okay? We went by car. It's just showing what you used as a transportation, okay? As a means of transportation. We went by car. You're not trying to say which car. We went by taxi. We went by plane, okay? But then it is okay to say a specific car. We went by that car. We went by the blue, big, huge, heavy car, okay? Specific car. Or we went by a car that belongs to the company, for example. It's one of the cars that belongs to the company. So also okay, to add the articles there. So on foot and by car, okay? Punyagam? Using a verb of movement. Take. Okay, you can also use the verb to take. Okay, this is okay. I took a taxi. To take a taxi, okay? You can use this verb, take. To take a taxi, a bus, a train, and etc. Okay? Let's take a bus. So this verb can also be used, okay? It's not just taking like this. It's also taking let's take the car, let's take the taxi, okay? To take. Yeah, to take. And the means of transportation, okay? So that's it. We discussed all of these prepositions of movement. To, from, into. They are referred to movement in general, not just transportation. You're going to somewhere, you're coming from somewhere, you're going inside something, you can say into, you're coming out of something, you see. Or on is like on a surface, or also, for example, on the public transportation. Off is off a surface. The cat jumped off the table. Up shows a very obvious movement, going up the mountain, up the stairs, down, to ride down the road. Down the road, sometimes that actually used like that. Huh? Turn off, okay. Turn on, turn off. Like machines, right? We use for machines. Turn on the aircon, turn off the aircon. Then that's, I think it's a phrasal verb. Turn on, turn off. I think it's a phrasal verb. Turn on and off. So that's a different. On and off is not off a surface. Off, what is this off? On. I think it's, what is this? Off. On or off. Turn on, phrasal verb, yes. Phrasal verbs. Turn on the lights. Sometimes on and off can be adjectives, I think. For example, the lights are on. The lights are on, then that on is an adjective. The lights are off, also an adjective. But to turn on the lights is a phrasal verb with a preposition on. Okay, a little different, no? Preposition or adjective. Okay, so in this case, it's a phrasal verb with a preposition. See? Okay. So now we have 30 minutes. Today is Monday, so let's do some writing. Okay, Gambira Panyo came at the right time.